I'm 13 years old, and my whole life, I've always wanted to fit in. I always wanted to feel like I was a part of the group, and I wanted to feel like I was like everyone else. Sometimes I would tell myself to stop liking something because my friends didn't like it, or I would try to start liking something because my friends liked it. I would try to get into things that I thought everyone else was in, and I thought it was cool because they were in it, but it wasn't. And at home, my dad, he was still on his path to Christ, and as he learned more, as he walked on the path, he taught me and my brother. And at night, in bed, he would tell me stories of how Jesus came down from heaven and went to earth and died to save us all from our sin. I didn't know what it meant. I didn't know what a sin was, and I didn't really know who God or Jesus was. But this was when I found out who Christ was. This is when I was introduced to him when I was around 7. And a couple of years after that, middle school started. It was an odd time, and everyone I knew, they changed. It was like 5th grade didn't exist anymore. My friends, they started to think other things mattered that weren't important, and things that I didn't even know existed started to become really important to them. And I felt like the people I knew before that, I didn't know them anymore. I felt like I was roaming the halls as a 5th grader with a bunch of middle schoolers who I used to know, but I didn't anymore. Around that time, I started coming to this church. And here, everyone was different. I'd never seen people who were like the people in this church, and I never knew people like them. But here, I felt like they all knew each other, and they were all just a family. But I didn't feel like I belonged either, and I didn't know what it was. I didn't know why I was attending there. But as I kept attending church, I realized something. I didn't need to belong here. Nobody here wanted to fit in. They didn't need to belong. They all came here to serve Christ. They came here to build their faith and meet other people who also believed in Christ. And as I realized that, my heart opened. And I stopped wanting to belong, and I stopped wanting to fit in. I just started being me. I just started wanting to know Christ, and I started wanting to learn about him. And soon after that, it was my second Good Friday at the church, and the first Good Friday I had attended, I was late, and I only saw the video and a couple things after that, and I didn't really know what it meant. I only saw the video. It was disturbing. And this year when I attended, I felt like something changed. When the service started, I looked up at the pastor and I just paid attention. I just listened. And I felt like my heart opened. I felt like my head opened, and I felt like my eyes opened. My dad would tell me stories every night of how Jesus died for us. But here, this wasn't a story, it was something that happened. And I feel like when I went there and I witnessed it, I realized that I hadn't been looking or listening. Here, I realized what he actually did for us and how he died for us. And that night, I went home, I shut my door, and I got on my knees and I prayed. And I prayed for forgiveness, and I prayed for an open mind. I prayed that he would let me see what my eyes couldn't. And I prayed that he would let me learn more about him. And now, that, I just wanted to serve the Lord. I knew what Jesus did for us now, and I've seen it, and I felt like I'd felt it. I'd seen it firsthand, and now that leads me to today, where I feel like I'm ready to dedicate my life to the Lord. And I thank the Lord for everything He's done for me, and I thank the people He sent to support me through everything. And I thank my dad for telling me all those stories